about 15 minutes, and then we're going to get you over to the men's basketball court for players. We're going to start off with an opening statement from head coach Kenny Brooks, and then we'll roll right into questions. If you don't mind to raise your hand, I'll call on you. And as soon as Lanissa gets set up, we'll start off with an opening statement.
Thank you guys for being here. Obviously, starting year 2, feel a lot more comfortable than starting year 1, just understanding what we're about to get into. But nonetheless, want to try to feed off of a really good year for us. I thought we did a really good job of setting a foundation where we want to go and who we want to be. Last year was terrific. Very proud of the young women who really sacrificed a lot to help us get on this trajectory. So a lot of fun. I think we'll be able to talk a little bit about it at Big Blue Madness. We were talking about breaking records and everything we did last year, and obviously looking forward to this year. And I'm very excited about this group. A lot of unknowns. Just like most coaches around the country at this point of the year, you're just trying to build chemistry, and we're trying to do that. And I think we're on our way. Been banged up a little bit, but looking forward to having a good week this week with a full complement of players where they can go out and just start to build that chemistry with the talent that we have. So very excited and looking forward to everything that we can accomplish this year.
We'll start off with Roscoe.
Roscoe.
Hi, so I'm Roscoe. I go to Stonewall Elementary School and I'm in 5th grade. And I would like to ask you, if there was a movie about your whole life, who would be the actor you played?
Ooh. If you had asked 5 years ago, I might have said Will Smith, but now let's just keep it safe and say Denzel couldn't mess up a movie, so I would say Denzel Washington. Yes,
He's a great actor.
he is. He's fantastic, and I think I look like him a little bit.
We'll go
Great question, my man. Great question.
We'll go Jordan, Caroline, Sierra, Mark, and then we'll reset.
Coach, from when the ladies first arrived on campus in June to now, what's maybe one thing you and your staff were like, all right, we expected that, and maybe what's one thing where we're like, oh, we're a little bit better at this than I thought?
We expected, just the attitude, obviously building off of last year, and a lot of them gained so much confidence in themselves, not only on the court, but off the court. They came to campus. They were ready. They were ready to get to work, and their attitude, the returners' attitude, has been very infectious to the newcomers. And hey, this is how we do it. So I've been very proud of that. What I didn't expect is they seemed taller than I remembered. Before they left. This is probably the tallest team I've ever had in my 25 years of coaching. And I think we're going to be able to use that to our advantage, just because obviously we might not be the quickest team, but like last year we led the country in block shots. And I think we have the catalyst to still do that again with Tiani Key and Clara Strack, holding it down the middle. But they're very tall and they're long, and so we're looking forward to using that to our advantage.
Coach, will you speak to what it's been like to build your relationship up with Tony Morgan?
You know what? And I think first and foremost, I said it early. I didn't want Tony to feel like she had to be Georgia, and although we reference Georgia a lot in our conversations, just because Tony and I only have less than a year to build that chemistry, and so the blueprint has been what Georgia provided. And to Tony's credit, she has been magnificent as far as just understanding it, welcoming it. We watch film of Georgia, and not just to praise Georgia, but Georgia did it in a way that Tony wants to learn how to do it as well. So I commend her for just her coming in here, hearing Georgia's name a lot, but not letting it affect her, and knowing that she's still going to be Tony. And we're excited for what she's going to be able to bring to us, because she can do some things that Georgia couldn't do. So it's up to me to tap into those resources, and I'm excited for what she's going to be able to do this year.
Coach, could you just talk about how last season going in, you didn't have 2 key pieces that you intended to have in Obi and Marola. Just talk about entering this year, having them, and also how them sitting out could have also been a benefit because they've been able to observe?
Yeah, first and foremost, just to see them out on the court, it just warms your heart because you know how hard they worked after being devastated with the injury and not being able to play. So they really poured their energy into getting better and getting back out onto the floor. Jordan has looked, really, really good. She's probably close to 100%. Dom is still working her way back with confidence and whatnot. It takes a while for that injury to get better, but just having them both on the floor, it was painful for us last year not to have them, but it's also a benefit, for them to be able to have watched last year, to understand what the system is, can add some of their expertise to the newcomers, and they've both been beneficial to us, and they're going to provide depth for us.
Mark?
Kenny, obviously Clara had a great year last year, but where have you challenged her? And what is her challenge? Because she's the player now.
Yeah, the beauty is I think she's challenging me. I always tell them if they want to be great, you have to meet me halfway. And this kid, she's done everything that I've asked her to do in a short amount of time. And even though we put so much pressure on her, and rightfully so because she deserves it, she's earned it. But then sometimes I have to reel myself in and say, hey, look, she's still 19 years old. She's only supposed to be a sophomore this year, and she's well beyond her years. So what I mean by she challenges me, every day it's like, okay, can we get an extra workout? Can we get extra shots? Can we do this? I don't ever have to ask her, and she's really compliant in that because she wants to be great. She's a fierce competitor. She's gotten better, and I think what you guys are going to see this year. So if there are traditionalists out there and they're talking about post players and you want me to put her on the block and let her bang and throw up some 2-foot layups, it's not going to happen. She's kind of like a new age center in the way that the game is evolving, where they can do more than just go down on the block. We've got plays, we've got some opportunities for her to bring the ball up the floor. We've given her the green light. Okay, if you get a rebound, hey, let's go with it. We're doing things unorthodox where instead of her always setting the ball screen and rolling, she's getting the ball screen set for her, and she's coming off of it because she's such a dynamic passer. I think she's one of the best passing post players in the country. Now, what she has to be ready for is that she's not going to sneak up on anyone. She's going to be the focal point of everyone's scouting report, and I think that she's ready for that. And she's had a phenomenal summer. She's gotten a lot better. She's shooting the 3-ball as well as anybody on our team right now. And I just think you're going to see her continue to develop and to have a 6'5" mobile center who can do a lot of different things. We're going to take advantage of it, and that's going to be our way of being a hard guard. But very proud of her and what she's been able to accomplish in a short amount of time. And her attitude is infectious, and she's becoming one of our leaders on the team. And that's something that I never would have considered maybe a year ago, and that's just how far she's grown as a person and a player.
4 more, and that may be it. Brad, Lindsay, Michelle, Kai, and then we'll squeeze Maggie in and then call it a day.
Hey, Coach. KK Carroll, just talk about her and what she brings, her size, her shooting, things of that nature.
She's a freshman. The best thing about freshmen is they become sophomores. No. I think, for KK's situation, she's going to be a dynamic player for us. She has to go through a process. And it's really not fair what we're trying to ask of her right now because she's essentially the only freshman that's in the rotation. And so therefore she's playing with a bunch of seniors and people who are really trying to help lead her. But the one thing that she does do exceptionally well is she shoots the basketball. And she's had a trying preseason, just like any freshman would when they're learning. But there's no doubt in my mind by the time we tip it off, she's going to be there in the rotation helping us because she's a great shooter. And she has a great attitude. And what she doesn't know, she's trying to pick it up. And she's gotten so much better since the beginning of practice. And we're excited about her. She has an infectious attitude. She wants to work hard. She shoots the ball exceptionally well. And she's going to be a nightmare for other people when we put her in the game because she's going to really stretch the defense. And so I'm excited about her and what she's been able to do. And she's going to be a big part of our success this year.
Talking to Tiani over the summer, she just seems so much more confident, and a lot of teammates mentioned her as somebody that's stepping up as a leader. How have you seen her kind of come into her own in year 2 of your system?
Well, I think it probably in the year 2032 or so, she's going to run for president of the United States. That's how much she's grown, and her confidence has just blossomed. And she walks into a room, and she commands the room. We're down on the floor. If Tiani opens her mouth, everyone listens. And it's a major step from where she was at this time last year. We were just trying, begging and pleading for her to be her own cheerleader. And now she's really commanding the room, understands what we want, how we want it done. I think she's going to have a tremendous year. I really do. She plays with a lot of confidence. Again, her versatility, just like with Clara. Our forward center combination, it has to be one of the better ones in the country, just because of their experience, their height, their mobility, what they can provide. And we're looking forward to utilizing it. But very proud of Tiani. Made the dean's list last year. She's had a tremendous transformation since she's come to the University of Kentucky, and that's what she was looking for when she transferred. And I'm just glad and proud of the way she has prospered, and I'm looking forward to what she can do this year.
Another question about Tiani. What have you seen from her? I know you talked about her leadership, but the work she put in this summer and as she's approaching year 2 for you.
She's put in so much work to expand her game, to fine-tune her game, to be confident in some of the things that she hasn't done well. And because of that, and because of her work ethic, we've kind of given her carte blanche. Just go, just play. If you make a mistake, it's on me. If you make another mistake, it's on the other coach. You know, and we want her to just play with confidence, because when she does, so many wonderful things can happen. And when she's playing like that, and it gives us an opportunity to beat anyone. And we want to give her that opportunity to grow, because we think that we'll benefit from it. I think she'll benefit from it. And no question in my mind that, you know, she's going to have a year that's really going to be one that's going to be impacted not just by her play, but by her leadership. And that's just as important to us, because I half joking said she's going to run for president, but she could. And because she's that striking of a personality, and everyone wants to follow her.
Coach, y'all did your work in the portal, and it seems when you look down the roster that you have enough to have that second unit. How relieving is that after last year, and also how important is it in a sport of college basketball to have a bench like that? Yeah,
it's very important. You know, I looked through box scores throughout the NCAA tournament last year, and the teams that really survived at the end were the teams who are deep enough. You know, there were a lot of teams only playing 7. And, you know, we wanted to be one of the teams that not only do you not want to wear your players down throughout the regular season, but you want to have that depth so that you can just have options, choices. And we carefully went through the portal, and we wanted to get the right pieces. You know, we didn't want to just assemble a group of talent and put them out there and see what happens. We wanted to have pieces, and we did that. We got, you know, Asia Boone, who is probably one of the better shooters in the country that can help stretch the defense. Josie Gilvin, you know, she brings an unorthodox style to our philosophy, where we kind of guard the paint, where she does a really good job of anticipating and playing defense and causing havoc all over the place. And I think that's going to be good for us too. So, and then you talk about KK, the addition of KK. But you look at a lot of our players. We talked about Tiani, we talked about Tony, we've talked about Jordan, Clara. The one that you guys really need to watch out for is Amelia. And Amelia has walked into the room like, okay, you know, she busts down the door like, here I am. And she's got the green light. She's shooting the ball exceptionally well. I think she grew an inch over the summer. But she's playing, you know, out of her mind. So you get all those options right now, and it gives us a chance to go out there and compete with anyone. And that's all we ask for, is an opportunity to compete with anyone. But having that bench is going to give us that chance.
Last year around this time, you told us you were maybe a little worried that team was going to be too nice.
Yeah.
You learned how to trash talk a little bit. What can you tell us about the personality of this group?
They feel themselves a little bit now. Tiani, Clara, you know, they command, they have a presence now. And pretty much the rest of the group follows their lead. And Clara, I know she looks like she's quiet, but she's feisty. And then Tiani I wouldn't call her an instigator. She'll get everybody going, and everybody wants to follow suit. So we still have some ways to go. They're still learning each other. They're a little timid around each other because they're a little nervous to hold each other accountable. But once they continue with the chemistry part of it and they start holding each other accountable, I think their attitude will become more infectious, and they'll have a little bit more of a swagger.
We've got time for one quick more. Did you have one? Yeah.
We talk a lot about how players grow and the gains that they make, but can you talk a little bit how you've seen you grow as a coach and how you challenge yourself to be better?
You have to evolve. You really do. This is year 24 for me as a head coach, and if my players from James Madison would come watch a practice, they would be like, "Who are you?" Even my players, from my previous spot, they would say, "Who are you?" And you have to learn how to evolve to reach young people, with still getting your point across. And I'm a totally different coach. You really think about the things that you want to say, how you want to say them to get your point across, because it's a different generation. But still, I think we have an opportunity to be an impact on them, and it's different, And the transfer portal changes a lot. Because sometimes, if you're hard on a kid, you're wondering, okay, have they checked out? Are they going to go somewhere else because they have easy options to do so? But I think you just need to be true to yourself. You need to be true to yourself and knowing that you have the opportunity to impact young people's lives. And I take it as a responsibility because I have to continue what, their family started, and raising them and still holding values and whatnot. But at the same time, it doesn't always work because you can't give everyone what they want, and whatever that situation is. So you have to really do what you think is best for the program, whether it looks right or wrong. I'm invested in it, and I'm going to try to do that. So I think I'm still an effective coach. It's just been done a different way now because, you have to evolve. You don't want to be extinct if you don't evolve. You don't want to be a dinosaur. But it is definitely a different day and age in the way that you have to coach and the way that you have to reach young people.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Well, I got everybody. Your credential works for Pro Day tomorrow. You will have to come in this entrance.